This thought came up the other day while I was davening in shul. A discussion arose, and I'm pretty sure those of you who daven in Orthodox synagogues hear things like this, like, oh boy, I can't wait for Mashiach to come, right? Mashiach now, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, some Sephardi guy got up and he said, yeah, we'll all be brought back to Israel. We'll all live in Israel, this and that. And I said, you know, guys, not necessarily. And they're like, what do you mean? When Mashiach comes, everyone's going to live in Israel. All the Jews are going to come back. One of the things Mashiach is supposed to do, at least in terms of Hilchos Malachim, or what appears by the Rambam and other sources, is that he's going to bring the Jews back. Do Jews have to live in the land of Israel? And during the time of Mashiach, are Jews going to be required to live in the land? And the answer is no. Jews were never required to live in the land of Israel. There was an initial mitzvah to conquer the land, yes. But even throughout Jewish history, the vast majority of Jews actually lived outside of the land of Israel. And the halakha is, not just the halakha, this is the Torah command that all a Jew is expected to do is to visit the land 3 times a year. And that's it. For those 3 special hagim. Now, where does the notion that Mashiach should bring people back? I think the understanding comes from Sefer Ezra and Sefer Nehemiah, that one sign of the Geulah, at least back then, was the people crying out. But it's not necessarily all the people, but the bulk of the Jewish people crying out in unison, in some way doing a form of, I guess, mechila, for lack of a better word, of actual public teshuvah, crying out, I guess technically a real Yom Teruah, for forgiveness. That means they were resetting the covenant and they were getting the ball rolling all over again. And that's really where I think the idea brought down by the Rambam that he will bring the Jews back, at least to do that. And that could easily be done within one of those 3 special days that Jews are required to make their Hajj, I guess, for lack of a better word, back to the land of Israel. But the truth is, Jews are not required to remain in the land. They could stay outside of the land. When I said this to the Jews, there were a few rabbis there, and they stopped for a second. They're like, well, you know, you're right? But it really shocked many ears, because it's really a form of cognitive dissonance when people compare the midrashim and all, I guess, for lack of a better word, Baba Baises that they have been taught for so long against what the actual halacha actually is. They realize, well, it's true. Maybe I shouldn't sell my house in Miami Beach. Anyways, guys, have a good Shabbos.